If you do not know how to cut a 360 circular skirt and turning the hemline perfectly in such a way that it doesn't have a crease, then this video is for you. You'll be needing the waist circumference, of which I'll be using 13 inches, and the desired length, of which I'll be using 9 inches. So here I went on to write down my waist circumference of 13 and then skirt length, which is 9 inches. Now you're going to add the zipper allowance of 2 inches, and then we're going to add the waist circumference plus the zipper allowance together, which is 13 plus 2, and that gave me 15 inches. Now for the 360-degree circle, the formula is R equals C divided by 6.28. Now my circumference is 15, my total circumference 15 divided by 6.28, and that gave me 2.38. So I'm going to round down the 8, so I'm left with 2.3. So my radius now is 2.3. Then fold your fabric into 2, then fold it in half again in such a way that the upper part of the fabric is going to be unfold. Then the 2.3 inches gotten from the calculation earlier, which is the radius, from the top corner of the pattern paper here, which is unfold, I'm going to go ahead and mark 2.3. But since we don't have 2.3 on the measuring tape, I'm going to use the distance between 2.25 and 2.375 as my 2.3. So I went on to mark that 2.3 round like so and connected them together. I connected the points together. Then the next thing is marking my length of 9 inches. So I went on to mark my length from the radius, as you can see. So length of 9 inches. I went on to mark it round. Then after marking round, I connected with my marker pen. Then I went on to add 0.5 inch seam allowance. One thing you must know is when working with peplum, you don't need much seam allowance at the hem, so 0.5 is fine. On the radius, I went up by 0.25 inches, which is going to serve as the seam allowance for the waistline. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut out. After cutting, transfer to your fabric and cut out the same thing you have on the pattern paper on the fabric. Now when you are done, open up the fabric and then slash through one side, which is going to serve as the center back area, which is where you're going to be fixing the zipper. Here I measured down 5 inches from the waistline and then stitch what I have left to the hemline because I'm sewing for a miniature. But if you're sewing for yourself, you can measure 7 to 9 inches. The secret to turning the hemline of any circle dress you're making, anything circle, be it a top, skirt, sleeve, whatever you're making, is to stitch twice. You fold in 0.25 and stitch it round once, then you fold in again and stitch on the same seam line, on the previous seam line, as you can see on the screen. Doing this is going to give you a very neat finishing at the hemline without any fold or any crease. And then stitching on the same seam line is going to give you a very neat finishing on the inside. You won't have any double lines showing on the inside of the skirt. And here is a final look of the skirt, guys. What do you think? Do you find this video helpful? If you do, don't forget to like, comment, share to your friends, and follow for more. Bye.